Hello interwebs, it's a new year, new Jessie. And by new Jessie, I mean the same exact Jessie that you've always gotten. The one who loves to talk about nerd stuff, social issues, LGBTQ stuff, and politics, and all of that with a bunch of weird jokes to mask the inner anxiety and torment deep in my soul. I'm fine, we're all fine here now, thank you. How are you? But honestly, my own existential dread aside, it is a brand new year. And I recently had a little bit of time off around the holidays for the first time in a long time to really just sit and think about not only the direction of this channel and what I want to do with this channel, but also about my life and my desires and my ambitions for the future. So I wanted to take this video to share with you all of my exciting, at least I hope they're exciting, plans for this channel. Both things that are going to be happening, right now, starting this very week or next week, as well as what my goals are for 2021 and beyond with my life and with this channel and things that I hope to do with all of this. And I hope it's a good, exciting thing for not only me, but for all of you. So, by the way, if you're here for the immediate channel updates, I'm going to do all of that up top, and then I'll get into the juicy details of my personal life. As juicy as they get, because I'm not really all that much for drama. I mean, the biggest drama that I have is with my cat, who, bites my leg if I don't feed him early enough in the morning. So, yeah. Drama! But, beyond all of that, let's start about what's actually happening on this channel starting this very month. Some changes that I'm going to be making, some ideas that I'm going to be having going into the future, as well as just sort of give you an overview of what this channel is if you are someone who's new to this channel. So let's start off with regular video content. First things first, on Mondays, I'm going to be starting to do a new weekly video series called Jessie Gender Recommends, or I might tweak the name a little bit. But anyways, it's going to be a series where I try to impassionately share something that I loved, that really moved me, that touched me, something that I honestly deep down care about, something that really means something to me. There are so many things that I get very excited and passionate about, things that deeply resonate with me that I honestly want to talk about. And to be honest, I feel like I haven't really talked or created a good way to talk about those things that I'm really overjoyed about on this channel outside of, doing reviews or big philosophical essays. So these videos are just going to be a way for me to do a deep dive on things that I'm just really passionate about, and I think that you will all find really cool, and sort of give you my critical eye on it as well, but just all be things that I find a piece of who I am in, a piece of how I identify in my soul about. And if you're on my Discord server via Patreon, by the way, I'm also going to be creating a channel over there where we can talk about these kinds of things, and we can do a book club or a rewatch or things like that. And this is going to be basically anything that influences me: movies, TV shows, books, music, audio dramas that I love, because dear God, I love audio dramas and I don't talk about those enough. So that's what's going to be starting on Monday. So it may get pushed every so often if there's going to be a review or something big on this channel, but otherwise that's going to be what it is going forward, and we'll sort of see how well they do, and if you guys like them and they do well, we'll keep them going long term. Wednesdays from now on are going to be my more targeted topical videos where I discuss, important social, political, LGBTQ or geek issues, all generally within the sort of nerd world. Things think of my Cyberpunk 2077 video on pronoun usage that I really recently did, or my discussions of trans issues in Star Trek Discovery, or things like that. These are going to be generally unscripted, more casual discussions. They might be scripted if I feel that it requires it and I have the time to do that, but they are just generally going to be a little bit more unscripted, just sort of me talking about an issue and giving my thoughts on it. And I also am going to, because I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and a little bit of burnout at the end of last year, I might not always do one on Wednesday, but I'm going to aim to be doing one every single Wednesday. And knowing me, I probably will do every one single Wednesday, because I just have a lot of thoughts that I like to spill out into my brain pan. But generally, I am going to try and, give myself an avenue to take a break if I really need it going forward. And finally, Fridays are always going to be my big video day. These are going to be the videos that you've come to expect from me. My researched and well scripted, better edited, more production value, ambitious ideas like costumes and location shooting, all that sort of stuff, or collaborations, things like the Ensign Cricket bracket videos, my sacred tracks, the videos on neurodiversity that I did, philosophy on nerd stuff, or big political or social issue discussions. And also this year with those videos, while I am still going to be doing Star Trek things, I am going to try and branch out a little bit more from Star Trek to explore strange new worlds, as it were. But as always, I'm going to try and use these videos to, use my love of geek culture in order to explore social, political, and, LGBTQ issues in specifically. And again, my general rule of thumb is I'm going to do at least one Star Trek video a month and one on LGBTQ issues, sometimes at the same time. So look for those, as always going forward. Nothing about those are going to change other than hopefully my ambition and budget with them. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. So that's all the main video stuff, but there are a few other quick little small things. First off, I'm going to be doing bi-weekly, meaning every other week, not twice a week, video game live streams on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's going to be starting this week, and I'm going to be playing Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, which I'm so excited to do. I'm also going to be playing things like Mass Effect, Bioshock, and all those playthroughs, and I'm going to be doing those on YouTube for now. I might eventually switch to Twitch, depending on how the live streams affect my channel in the algorithm, because that's always kind of wonky when it comes to live stream. So we'll play it by ear, and I am hoping to get to do that weekly because I do want to have an avenue to play more video games and get to do hang out with everyone a little bit more. But just for my own mental health and not wanting to overwork myself, I'm just going to start every other week for now and sort of see how it goes, and then we'll talk about what could happen to help me do them more in just a little bit. The other thing too, I am going to be doing my weekly Hangout chat live streams that I've been doing for months now, where I sit down for an hour and just hang out with everybody, chat, answer questions, things like that. But I am going to be moving them from Wednesdays to Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's just so I have a little bit of a break in the middle of the week. So that's going to be every Thursday. I'll be live streaming for about an hour or so. People can ask questions, you can chill, we can hang out, we can just have a little bit of fun. It's really nice to just hang out with everybody, and it makes my day so much brighter. It gives me so much energy. Whenever I'm feeling down or sad, those live streams honestly just boost my spirit. And so I am just so happy to have everyone who hangs out there, especially those who hang out there regularly, but anybody who comes, I'm just so glad to have you on those live streams. So they really they make me feel good, and I hope they do the same for all of you. And then finally, the last thing that I'm going to mention in this section is I'm still doing my weekly Rewatch Farscape podcast, What the Frell, with my wonderful friend and fellow YouTuber Council of Geeks. And that's the podcast, in case you don't know, where we go through Farscape episode by episode. I have never seen Farscape. Council of Geeks has seen it several times, so it's sort of a different perspective on it, and it's a ton of fun. And also, I love Pilot and Aaron. I adore them with all of my heart. They are my children, and they are wonderful, and Pilot can do no wrong. And oh my god, Aaron is just hot and attractive. So I like Aaron for different reasons. Anyways, check out the What the Frell podcast. It's a lot of fun. Links down below. So long story short, just to give the overview, Monday are going to be the Jessie Recommends videos. Wednesdays are going to be unscripted topical discussions. And Fridays are going to be my big featured videos. Thursdays will be my weekly live streams. And then I'll be doing gaming live streams every other Tuesday. And then I also have the What the Frell podcast that comes out every Monday as well. And on top of that, I'll probably be peppering in reviews of TV shows, or if there's a big event that comes up that I want to cover, things like that. I'll probably also be peppering those in as well throughout the week, depending on when I want to address them. So that's the main schedule. I know I probably do a little bit too much, but I enjoy doing it and I love doing it, and I hope that it not only excites me, because it does excite me, all these things, but I hope it also excites you and allows me different avenues to express myself and to hang out with you and sort of share my joy and love and hopefully my passions with all of you. And let me know down in the comments what you think of all this, because all this stuff, I'm willing to tweak it, change it a little bit, depending on how the year goes and your input and how the channel grows as well. So yeah, just let me know all of that down in the comments. But that brings us finally to, like I said, the juicy life details. I'm going to start with drama. Council of Geeks is a nerd. Yeah. Drama. Ah. Steve Shives is named Steve. Yeah. Take that, Steve. You Steve. Now that I'm done being weird, I do want to take this moment to talk about where I am in my life and what I'm hoping to do with my life and what this channel has meant to me within all of that, and what all of you, this community that this channel has started to build, mean to me in all of that. As many of you know, the past year and a half or so for me has been kind of a roller coaster, though Sadly, not the fun kind of roller coaster, more those like old wooden roller coasters that you hate riding that bounce your head everywhere and give you a concussion. That's a weird metaphor to use for my life. Like I said, I haven't talked a ton about this in specific, but about a year and a half ago, I lived in Seattle for the first time. It was a city I adored and still adore. And I had a job at Microsoft that I loved. It was honestly a really great job that I lost. It was sort of out of my control. But I lost that job, and losing that job was devastating. It was a really hard time at that moment, especially since I had just broken up with my ex, who I still do and did love quite a bit at the time. We just had differing views on wanting to have kids, and we're still close friends. So that was a really difficult time. And on top of that, I had to move back to Los Angeles because that's where I found another job. And Los Angeles is a city that actively hurts my mental health. And I had to take a job that I did not really love. It paid the bills, and I like my coworkers. It's more than some people had, so I don't want to, knock that, but it was just a field that I wanted to be in a field where I get to be creative and express my weird, crazy, extremely nerdy, strange self, and I couldn't really do that there. And then, lots of stuff happened. I got scammed out of money right before my breast augmentation surgery. The pandemic happened, and I lost that job that I had moved from Seattle for. And I kind of got stuck in Los Angeles, and that's what the year was. Kind of hard, in many ways. Now, I share all of that not to give you my sob story of my life, but to stress the importance of what this channel has meant to me. I started this channel as a place way back when I was in Seattle for the first time, to be a place where I can just practice expressing my voice, practice expressing my creativity, the things that I always knew that I wanted to share. I've always known that I was good at creating content, that I could make good things. I mean, I had a job where I worked at The Advocate that I really loved, but that was always through somebody else's voice. I never trusted myself and what I had to say and felt that they were fully meaningful and worthwhile. Like, I'm not going to, downplay myself. Like, I knew that I'm smart. I know that I was smart, but smarts don't mean much when it comes to like confidence and feeling that you can be creative. I never trusted what I had to say or had the confidence to say it. And so this channel was just a place where I could force myself to do a video a week in order to just say something, make something, just do it, Jessie. That's what I was telling myself. And as I started to do that, I found all of you. I found this amazing community of folks, other creators and people like yourself who are watching this video who just supported what I had to say, who resonated with the things that I talked about, that they found this weird, strange, geeky person who perhaps loves Star Trek a little bit too much and who loves to educate about social issues and geekery and nerd crap. You found me interesting for some reason. You found the stuff that I make meaningful, and it made, I feel honored about that. I feel honored that I make stuff that seems to be interesting to people. And all of you gave me something. You gave me something that I had never had before, a confidence in myself and what I have to say and what I have to create. It's not a perfect confidence. I wouldn't want it to be a perfect confidence. I still have, anxiety and worries that I'm not good enough or that what I make is crap. But sometimes now those things help push me to be creative rather than stop me from being creative. And that voice that tells me, you should stop, you can't do this, you're not good. That voice is so much weaker now, and I can power through it and listen to this new voice in my head, the one that says, you have things to say, trust yourself, explore, make mistakes. Because yeah, you will make mistakes. It's all part of the fun and joy of creating something, but use that to make content that hopefully will not just be fun, engaging, but educate and teach and help make the world, a little bit better. I don't think I'm going to change the world, but if I can nudge it in my small way, that's cool. And I never would have gotten that without all of you giving that to me. And beyond that, this channel has given me opportunities that I've wanted and striven for my entire life. To have a platform that I can use to help broaden empathy and understanding, to help others, to have a chance to platform others, to talk about others, to help other communities, to raise money and things like that. But it's also a chance for me to be creative, to form community with positive, wonderful people, and get a chance to work with equally wonderful, creative people. All while being, again, my nerdy self. I've done videos with Steve Shives and Council of Geeks, who were both people before this channel that I knew of and looked up to, and now I can consider them friends, which is insane. I've even had a few other opportunities outside of this, like podcasts and things like that, and a couple other crazy things that I can't fully talk about yet because they may not happen, so I don't want to jinx it or, put things out there and people take things away. But yeah, the work that I do on this channel, this joy that this channel has given me possibilities that I never thought would happen for me. And that's insane. So all of that brought me to a realization. Many of you know, during the middle of the horror that was 2020, that hopefully we are slowly starting to dig our way out of. We'll see how that goes. But, one of the bright spots in all of that was I got a job at the Museum of Pop Culture here in Seattle, a job that I am so incredibly thankful for. It's not just a job that, I'm not just thankful that I have a full-time job during this pandemic, which is something that a lot of people don't have, but let alone it's also at a really cool place with really cool people, and enabled me to move back to a city that uplifts my soul. Like, I feel so happy to be in Seattle. This place just brings me joy. And I know that I am luckier than most to have all of that. But as I've started to work at the Museum of Pop Culture, I've also started to realize over the past few months that while I love it here, it's amazing and great, it is a job. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it. Definitely has parts of it that I won't enjoy, that I won't get into specifics on in case somebody's watching. I do love it, don't get me wrong, but it is a job. It doesn't fully encompass all the things that I want to do. And you mix that in with the fact that, as I spoke about when I got the job, they haven't actually fully decided to hire me full-time yet. They only have me as a contract employee. Well, all of that just kind of made me realize what I truly want. And that's doing this channel. Because you see, as I said, this channel started off as a hobby, but it's become something more than that. It's become something that I really believe in. And I believe that I'm just hopefully at the beginning of it, that I can build it, into something bigger, something more ambitious, and use my voice to do something bigger. And that's kind of cool. But right now I'm in this sort of in-between stage where I want to build things bigger and bigger, and I'll talk about some of those plans that I have in just a minute. But I'm also essentially doing two jobs. I'm balancing, life responsibilities and, trying to get paid, and also trying to do this job. And in many ways, I haven't been doing it perfectly. First off, there was a lot of burnout towards the end of 2020. A lot of it was just like moving to Seattle, getting set up with a new job and trying to do all this stuff. So, there's a lot more extra work on me, which kind of contributed to the burnout. So I don't anticipate burning out quite as hard as I did. But, towards the end of 2020, before the holiday season, I could barely do anything beyond doing this channel and doing work. And I was just so tired all the time. And it was kind of hard to be super creative towards the end of the year. But the other thing too, beyond all of that, is I started to realize I haven't had much of a personal life, time for friends and family and things like that, as much as I would like to. To a degree, that's been fine this past year. Honestly, it's a pandemic. It's not exactly the time to have a thriving social or romantic life. But like I said, as we started to hopefully see the distant light at the end of this horrible, horrible tunnel, I have been thinking about that a little bit more. How much I want to start dating again, to put myself out there again, to try and build stronger relationships again, especially since I've moved to a new place. I really want that. So what does all that mean? Well, what it means is this year, my professional goal is going to be doing this full time. I'm going to try to make an earnest, honest to God push to make this my full-time gig. I know that that's not going to be immediate. I know it's not going to be guaranteed, but it is possible. And if I do get to do this full time, I do have some clear immediate goals. I just to give you some idea of it, I want to do more live streams. I want to make my Friday videos more ambitious with, more on-set locations, more bigger topics, take more time to do research on these things, have more guests and more collaborations, do longer form videos. I also want to do more podcasts to talk about stuff, or, try and network a little bit more to try and get to see people. I have ideas on how I want to do that. I also want to do more gaming live streams, like I said. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is write fiction, and I'm a huge audio drama fan. I would love to do more audio dramas, and I have a idea for a horror audio drama, and I'm at the point where I'm like, I should just do it. I've never felt that way before, that I trust my voice enough to start writing fiction. I did it when I was a kid, and it was fun, but I've always been kind of scared that I wouldn't be good enough to do it anymore. And now I kind of want to trust that, but it's a big project that is going to require time. I also would love to try and be able to hire an editor to help me offload some of the work so I don't have to do it all myself. But even beyond all of that, the main thing is I just want a way to trust my voice more than I ever have before. But to be able to do all of that, to make that dream come true, I do need your help. And I know that this is sort of the awkward, like, hey, this is how you can help me. But truly, things like Patreon are the best way to help me. That is how I can support myself, help me pay the bills, not have to rely on the YouTube algorithm, which can go up and down depending on which day of the week it is. It gives me a base to just reliably rely upon and trust that, like, okay, this is what I can, be sure of that I have coming in order to try to pay the bills, but also help do more things on this channel, like buying equipment, buying costumes, hiring folks, doing more things with visual effects or edits, buying, like I said, better equipment, things like that. But also, as much as I appreciate support, I also want to be able to give stuff to you in return, not only making this channel better, but, Patreon has a bunch of perks, things like that. I do a podcast on there where I rewatch Star Trek Enterprise. You can get your name in videos, call outs, you get behind the scenes videos, and I'm going to also do a better job of, trying to get early access to my main videos over on Patreon as well. There's also a Discord server with a community that is amazing. They do, watch-alongs of Star Trek and other shows and movies, and they're honestly really beautiful people, and I just adore that Discord community so freaking much. It warms my heart. And I also, once I do this job full-time, hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I want to do more community building on Patreon and on this channel, doing more Patreon exclusive hangouts or group watch-alongs. So I hope that Patreon is a place where you can not only support me, but you get to actually take part in this endeavor that I'm trying to do. I want this to be a community. I want this to be bigger than me, because it should be. Star Trek is always, this is a Star Trek themed channel. Star Trek values infinite diversity and infinite combinations, and that core is so core to who I am and what I want to be, what I want to share with the world. I believe that more voices make us stronger. And I want to make it clear to you, I'm not asking you to support my channel in order to, fix a problem or help you alleviate the stress of having two jobs or helping me fix, having personal life. I just share with all of you that because that's where I am at in my life and what I hope my goals are. But for you, what I hope for you is that while I'm thankful for all the support that you have given me, whether you are a Patreon or just been watching this channel, that is all meaningful to me. You've helped me so much throughout my life and in really dark moments of this past year and a half, as I said. But what I am saying, though, is not for you to support me because of all that, but support me because you believe in this channel and you believe in what I'm trying to build. If my weird, strange personality and love of educating about the beauty that is the human experience through my, weird, geeky passions is something that you want to support and be a part of, that's when I would ask you to support me. I would be honored and touched to have you join this Patreon community, have you be a part of all of this. Whether, again, you're just a Patreon or just watching the videos, all of that is incredibly meaningful. And I hope we can all achieve more. Like I said, I want to add my voice to your own. I appreciate the support. I want the support, but I want your support only if you believe in what this is and what I hope to achieve. And if you don't, and if you just want to watch the videos, that's totally fine too. I also understand money is tight for a lot of people right now, so don't feel guilty or bad. I've seen people who become patrons who feel guilty or feel guilted into it or feel like they feel bad if they have to stop being patrons. Don't feel that way. Only support me if you have the means, if you can, if you think I'm worth it. Don't feel like you have to. Please, please, please take care of yourself first. But it would also be meaningful to me if this is something you want to support. It would mean a lot to me. would really mean a lot to me and give me a chance to do things that I've never been able to do before. So I just want to kind of end on that note. And honestly, just being truthful, to say that I want to go full time with this is kind of terrifying. I have that voice in the back of my head still. It says, what if I screw up? What if I make a mistake? What if I'm not good enough? What if this, what if I'm being silly? What if this is wrong? But for the first time in my life, I don't feel controlled by those fears. And I want to take the chance on myself. Something I never thought I would do. And I would love to have you join me on that journey. Anyways, thank you so much. I just kind of wanted to state that goal out there, put it out there, explain to all of you why I'm going for that goal, and what it means to me. So I just want to put it out there. I guess this means I also have to be professional on some level. Try and actually be somewhat professional. Just like, yeah, sure. I don't know why I have a mustache, but I'm a professional. I'm never going to be professional. I'm a weirdo. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's my goal for 2021, at least my personal goal. The other one is dating, and I also want to get FFS this year in case anyone's interested in what my 2021 goals are. Trying to do this full-time dating and getting FFS are my big things. So yeah. That's the plan. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope this has updated you on the state of the channel, state of me, state of my life. And I love you all so very much. You are wonderful, beautiful people, regardless of whether this is your first video, whether you were like, who's this crazy person, asking for support. I'm never watching this channel again. Still think you're beautiful. Still think you're wonderful. And thank you so much. And I hope that you all, as always, live long and prosper. Thank you so much to all of my patrons who are helping me achieve my dream of doing this full time, and especially a thank you to Catherine Lambeth, Miranda Janelle, Ashley Allen Bokikio, Eli Bergmas, Ashlyn Solstice, Michael D., Greg Gillum, Stephen Kleinard, Chamomile T., Ulysses the Pagan, Randy Thompson, Boyd and Mary Beth Earl, Wellington Marcus, Stephen Schuhart, Wayne Twitchell, Roar, Ish the Mad, Dominic Noble, Buttoneer, John Steele, Michael Beam, Jedi Indiana Jones, William Stewart, Gavin Robinson, Nathan Olson, BBD, Amanda Ronye Adanya, The Sir Spence, Jason Knott, Hannah F., Andrew Jorgensen, Maeve, Jasmine, Skylar Gray, Sean Piper, Andrew K., Bree Beecher, Subraxis, Jane Packard and Chloe Dollar, Nathan Steele, Tiffany Danger, Mari Neckar, Wendizzle Bizzle, Bush, W. Randy Eady, Mark the Edge, Piston Twisted Garage, Geek Filter, Gretchen Badger, Polly Mina, Jean Mithune, Sarah Bystam, Lysa, Din, Jacob Tovar, Celestial Dawn, Lily, Andrew Lamoureux, Raina C., Zone 1 Librarian, Michael Hardy, Corey Honkanen, and Vale Dunn. Thank you. You are all beautiful, beautiful people.